We're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly the final part of the final part of the last days.
This is the end of the world. This is the end of the world.
Hello and welcome to the Last Days live stream, the show that brings welcome levity to the end of the world, lifting the spirits of many of you battling boredom, loneliness or anxiety by infecting as many as possible with comfort and distraction as the apocalypse unfolds. Hang on, let me adjust my camera. How is everyone today on this fine August Saturday? 111, wow, watching live as we begin the show. Debs Vista says, hello, hope everyone is safe and well. Thank you, Debs. I am, at this precise moment, very safe and well. In fact, I'm in a bunker, so, you know, how much safer can one be? Susan Brewer, friend of the channel and patron, no less. Good morning from the beautiful foothills of the Ozark Mountains. Good morning, Susan. Debbie Aquino says, greetings. Hope everyone is safe and well. Yes, very much so. Victoria Roberts, hello all from my allotment. And you're watching the Last Days live stream, Victoria, from an allotment where vegetables are grown. That is very industrious. I do admire this. Presumably you're listening on your headphones or something. But yes, we're all with you in spirit. Ploughing the soil, bringing up vegetables from the rich Leicester soil. Eric Larson says, hello everyone. We also have Donna Baines present and correct. Greetings to all from Yonkers, New York, USA. I'm ready for mayhem in the AM. I'll have to use that. Gosh, there probably will be mayhem, Donna. If past live streams have been anything to go by. Gavin Mark says, hello all. Bro Eric, I extend a warm, firm handshake. Wow. Haven't had one of those in a while, living as I do, mostly in isolation in the middle of nowhere. Very few people to shake hands with. Although, it must be said, body-to-body contact of any kind, inadvisable when there is a pandemic. But if it's a virtual warm, firm handshake, then continue to extend it. The correct procedure is an L. Yeah, you see, Eric's on top of all this. He is on. This is why he's a mod. Nothing slips past his attention. Alice Oakley says hello from the US East Coast. Hello, Alice. So we have Tender Petals. What a soothing, reassuring name that is. And an avatar that complements it, I might add. Hello to you, Tender Petals, and thank you for reassuring me and giving me just a nice mental image with your chosen name and avatar. Carolyn McLaughlin says, good morning. Good morning to you, Carolyn. We have Augusta, Georgia, represented by Mark Thompson, who wishes everyone, there's no conditional love here, folks. It's going out to everyone. By Mark Thompson in Augusta, Georgia. Eric says it's hot and humid where he is. Enjoying coffee and a live stream before I go attempt to mow my lawn without melting into oblivion. Eric, it sounds a bit like you're procrastinating, but what better way to procrastinate than with the Last Days live stream? Gavin Mark says, great to have the exciting prospect of another content-packed... You see, this is what I'm aiming for, Gavin Mark, and I'm glad I've achieved this goal, at least in your eyes. I do aim for content-packed Last Days live streams, with panelists who are such wonderful people. They are top notch, aren't they? As you would expect, because I work with them on a regular basis. I only choose the cream of the crop. I'm not saying you're not all the cream of the crop, but yes, they really are lovely people. Nesbo says, good afternoon, everyone. Gloriously sunny day here in the UK. Chilling in the shadows. Oh, gosh. If you want to know where Nesbo is, search the shadows, where you'll find him chilling after a morning on the beach. Paradise. Yes, paradise is attainable with or without genocide. Nil Dreams 1975 says, yay, I made it. Just got back from grocery shopping. Hello from Miami. We've been all around the world already, haven't we? Leicester, the Shadows, somewhere in the UK, and now Miami. And we've had New York as well. Lemmy Adams says, I'll be here for the reading, then I'm off. Well, you'll be missing out, Lemmy Adams, as I'm sure you're aware, on an action-packed last day's quiz, which I might add, spoiler alert, has a new round. So look out for that, a new round in the last day's quiz. I'm going to proceed to thank some of you for some extremely generous super chats. And if I do miss out on anyone, please do let me know. But Leah Bryant, the redneck feminist, sends $5. Have the Jehovah's Witnesses ever split up over internal disputes? Yes, I suppose they have. My former cult is breaking into different sects over Ruckmanism. How would you handle a split? The days of splits were kind of the early history. So it used to be called the Bible Students, and in fact the Bible Students still exist because there was well and truly a split. Those who, you might say, stuck with the corporation, with the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, went on to become Jehovah's Witnesses. Those that didn't appreciate the control of Rutherford continue to identify as Bible students, and there have even been examples of other smaller splits in isolated instances, such as in Romania. So it has happened, but arguably the tighter the control, the tighter the grip of the hierarchy, the less likely a split will be. Sometimes, I'm guessing. Lee Spanner, thank you very much indeed for your super chat. That's very generous. We also have, oh gosh, Arthur Weber. His name has popped up in the comments, lurking around, making his presence known boisterously. Thank you so much, Miranda, for your very kind super chat. Thank you to Nicole. The book is awesome. I'm assuming you mean The Reluctant Apostate, or do you mean the escape book? Great and solid advice. I've ordered it as well, and I'm building my own library as well. Oh, wow. So it seems I'm not going to be the only one with a collection of quote-unquote old light. But I'm so glad you've enjoyed one of my books. I'm guessing it is The Reluctant Apostate. Yeah, a lot of work went into it, so it's always nice when the things get read. Pam Peterson, thank you for your $10. That's very generous. Greetings from Arizona. When I awoke, I thought the pandemic might have been over. Wishful thinking, Pam. But at least we have you, Lloyd. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam. That's what I need. A bit of positivity. A bit of TLC, perhaps. Thank you for your super chat. We have a super chat from Rianne. Love and some support. Thank you, Rianne, and I hope that your recent hospital trip went smoothly and that your recovery continues. Leisha Fox, thank you so much as well for your super chat. Very kind indeed. Obviously, the last day's live streams tend to be tipping the scales somewhat when it comes to YouTube's extremely sensitive considerations of what is or isn't controversial. So thank you as well, Aura, for your super chat from Sacramento. So yes, the super chats are helpful actually in just helping to offset some of that demonetization that goes on with YouTube. So Lisa for Truth says, I'm reading The Reluctant Apostate. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Probably I should brandish one, because they are just an arm's reach away. So yes, this is, let's see here, that's The Reluctant Apostate. You can see it's rather thick. I never intended for it to be that thick when I started writing it. In 2012, no less. And this is the follow-up, How to Escape from Jehovah's Witnesses. Might as well plug my own books on my own channel every now and then. I don't do it in every video, viewers, to be fair. Put those back nice and neat, so we've got less to tidy up later. Speaking of books, that's a nice segue. Let's go to the reading. Lemmy Adams wants me to read, so I shall read, and we are reading from Exiting the JW Cult, a healing handbook for current and former Jehovah's Witnesses by Bonnie Zeman, a mental health professional who I have had on the channel. We're reading a list of suggestions, a few things to help you with the above stage of being in the process of exiting. Know that it is normal for the embedded indoctrination to still make you feel fearful of hearing the opinions, experiences, and research done by people who have already left the sect. You have been programmed to believe that these ex-JW pagans, heathens, or those who proudly call themselves apostates are influenced by the devil. Did you know the Greek origins of the word apostate simply mean to stand off or stand away from? Did you know the Latin origins of the word pagan simply mean rural or peasant? The word heathen comes from the Old English word heath, which refers to uncultivated land. Yet Jehovah's Witnesses have loaded these simple, non-threatening words, used originally to describe people who lived in rural regions and thus too far away to frequent the churches in cities, with deceptive, frightening implications, so that just to hear the words makes a Jehovah's Witness experience tremors of fear and distrust. Please be assured that while the JW programming produces powerful feelings in you, they are feelings orchestrated by a self-serving governing body and are baseless. The misinformation and fear-mongering are designed to keep you under their control. It is not dangerous to do research, to learn, to know for yourself. So-called apostates and pagans are simply human beings who hold different values and views than the JW organization. They are not evil or demonic. They do not represent a threat to you. It is your basic human right to gather information from a variety of sources. Do not allow the JW organization to deny you the right to be informed. Their archaic tactics fly in the face of basic human rights. Know that you must take care of yourself physically during this time of decision-making and leave-taking. Make sure you are eating well, exercising, keeping yourself well hydrated, and getting enough sleep. Being physically strong will help you feel psychologically strong and thereby help you make better decisions on your own behalf. Know that it can be helpful to find a therapist with whom you can talk about this life crisis, your reactions to it, and the implications for your marriage and minor children. Consider couples therapy if your partner feels that your leaving the sect is a deal breaker for the marriage. If money is a consideration, you can try to find a university hospital, or a psychotherapy training center where student therapists about to graduate are beginning to see clients. Because they are still students and need to practice their new skills with actual clients, they sometimes offer their services at reduced rates or even on a sliding scale based on your ability to pay. While they may not be versed in cult deprogramming techniques, they will provide a non-judgmental ear and some tried and true ways to manage your anxiety. I actually quote that in the Escape book because I think it's brilliant advice. If seeing a therapist is not an option for you at this time, you will find help in this book that can accomplish some, but unfortunately not all, of the same things as a professional consultation. The following poem can be a source of strength and inspiration as you make your way out of the JW cult. Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Some challenges and accompanying feelings you may experience after having exited the JW sect. And then we have another list. The pain of the unjust shunning by your loved ones, pain and anger about being judged, marked and demeaned, familial complications due to your different status within the organization, some despair or depression due to so many losses, anger due to all the things you sacrificed as a member of the JW sect, confusion about how to rebuild your life, some confusion around all the decisions you will have to make during this life transition, a pressing desire to understand what has happened to you, wanting to remove all the old indoctrination from your mind, contemplating whether to embrace another religion or belief system, occasional doubts that you have made the right decision, occasional moments of delight and joy as you revel in your hard-won freedom. This is, of course, not a challenge, but I just had to remind you of it again here. These may be some of the challenges that will come after exiting the sect, but ones that will abate with time as you come to understand the import and immensity of what you have accomplished, rid yourself of all the specious indoctrination, and assign the whole experience its proper place in your life. What can help you with the stage of actually having left? This book. Do read on. Read on we will, Bonnie Zeman, into the next chapter, chapter 7, ways to support your recovery and healing, but we will do that in our next show. What amazing advice that was. Love the poem as well. We obviously do appreciate poetry here on the Last Days live stream. It's usually something to do with American politics, or at least it has been of late. However, what beautiful words there, and what amazing wisdom from Bonnie. So let me just put that there for a moment. Thank you as well for all the comments that have been continuing to flood through. 219, 221 across YouTube and Facebook at the moment. Lovely to have you all with me here. Thank you, Agnieszka. Greetings from Scotland. Sunny day for a change today. Wish I could give more. What you do is priceless. Thank you. That's a really kind message. Thank you so much, Agnieszka. Very much appreciated indeed. Addy says, hey Lloyd, I just wanted to say I can only imagine how many people have just left and are now very alone, or are physically in, mentally out, and stuck with their physically in, mentally in families. Addy, I don't think we know the half of it. It boggles my mind to consider how complicated people's lives are and family relationships are due to this organisation. Addy goes on to say, I know you are making a world of difference for those people right now. I want to cry just thinking about it because you helped me out years ago, and I know. Well, that's, another message. I know how much it means to have a voice like yours around, reminding you you're not crazy. Thanks for all you do and everyone in this community. Well, that's very touching, Addy. All I would say, and I, at the risk of repeating myself, because I have to say this because it's true, give yourself credit for getting out. I'm delighted to have played some part. I'm delighted that I have done or said something that has helped you to make that decision. But you are unlike 8.5 million Jehovah's Witnesses who are not at that stage yet. You have found the bravery and the integrity and the honesty to make that leap. So give yourself a big pat on the back for being so extraordinary compared to all those millions who simply aren't at that point in their lives yet. Welcome to Siegfried from the Philippines. Where can I buy your book? Is there a downloadable version? It's it's downloadable in Kindle format. So it's on Amazon. So you can order it on Amazon so as a hard copy or Kindle. There's also, if you're ordering the Escape book is considerably cheaper if you're on a budget. That's available on Amazon, hard copy, Kindle, or audiobook. There will be an audiobook of The Reluctant Apostate at some point. It's just that I literally would need to set aside 2 months to record it. But one thing that people can do, of course, if they struggle to buy anything, and bear in mind it's sometimes very, very incriminating just to have apostate literature in the house. So one thing that I welcome and encourage is to go to your library. And if it's not in the library, ask them to order it in, because both books have ISBN numbers. I would imagine most good libraries, if you ask, they will order the book. And then the benefit is not only do you get to read it, but of course you'll be leaving it in the library for others to read in your local community, some of whom may be Jehovah's Witnesses. So I do encourage that sort of thing if you're interested. So yes, we're joined on the Last Days live stream by the first of today's panelists. It's Sherry. How are you, Sherry?
I wasn't expecting that, Lloyd.
Just as you were taking an almighty swig of water. I'm assuming it's water. It could, of course, be vodka, but
no, it's definitely water.
So, how are things with you? What time is it over there in Australia?
It is 1:23 a.m. on Sunday, the 9th of August.
No one should be doing anything at that time unless they're young and reckless.
Young and reckless. Well, Sasha is fast asleep, and the kittens are also fast asleep, so I don't know what to say about myself.
Well, what I will say about you, Sherry, is you have made this show a better show for joining, and also your presence is very much needed, because if we do the Last Days quiz, Arthur will need help with Songs of Doom. It's not like he needs help generally with the quiz, because he's storming away with victories at the moment. But in the interests of fairness, I like to have someone on his team who remembers the song. So I'm very grateful that you can perform that role.
Oh, well, I have to be honest here, Lloyd, that the prospect of defeating the O'Donnells in the quiz was just the final nudge that I needed to stay up.
Yes. Well, this is what we like. We like a little bit of competitiveness because, let's face it, it is a battle of minds. This is what people don't understand. It's not just a gimmick. It's not just something to, let the time run. It's a way of finding out, frankly, who's most intelligent. And I will not live in a universe where that person is Arthur. No.
Intelligence might be a stretch, I have to say. Memory and indoctrination.
Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's my role, in fairness, as the host, to big up the quiz at any opportunity. And we do
I'll take that.
We do have another round. Since you're here, you get to find out first. It is the fanny pack of facts.
I love it. I love it.
So viewers, there's a little bit of an inside joke there for the JWsurvey team. And the introduction is as follows. In this round, we unzip the fanny pack of facts to reveal statements about Watchtower's past. But just as a real fanny pack is uncertain as a fashion statement, the facts revealed by the fanny pack of facts are not always to be trusted. You must decide which are true and which are false. So that's a round that we can look forward to.
That's gold. That's fabulous. I love it.
Brilliant. So yeah, much to look forward to.
So
Thank you.
where are the O'Donnells, by the way?
I don't know. They're being fashionably late, aren't they? As is Arthur. And Arthur was in the live chat. I saw his name pop up. He was circling. He likes to circle, doesn't he? Much like a shark in the introduction to your segment. He just likes to make his presence known ominously. Dan says, Jehovah just texted me. He said, Lloyd is the truth. And John Cedars is the only true channel. Well, I am literally a channel, unlike the faithful and discreet slave that you're referring to. Am I the only true channel? I'll take it. I'll take it. Although, again, it's probably a bit of a stretch. JW, crumbs. Lisa for Truth says, it's morning here. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm going to nap. Have a nap, Lisa, because let's face it, you can, after all, watch the whole thing later on when you're rested.
This is true.
Arthur, what on earth are you doing?
Yeah, I'm circling like a shark in the deep waters of Sherry's Chocolate Corner.
I notice. So what's going on?
I am at a friend's house here. Hey, Ovi. Meet my very talented guitarist. This is Ovi Bolokan.
Are you putting a band together, Arthur? Are you finally going solo in Romania?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But
I'm not sure I approve of this. I'm not sure I approve of this slapdash approach to the last day's quiz. How do you account for your tardiness?
Well, I'm not late. I'm not procrastinating. I was on the live chat when the show started. I'm very eagerly awaiting the funny pack of facts new round.
Yeah.
So
when are you going to be actually able to join the show? I guess is my question. To put it more bluntly.
Probably in about half an hour or so.
Half an hour? We've got to fill for half an hour.
Come on, Arthur. That's just poor.
We're already half an hour into the show.
Oh, really?
Get your ass back. Or points will be docked.
Oh, shit.
No! Because we're on the same team. Come on, Arthur!
And probably I'll be also waiting for the Redwoods to rise up.
Yes, they're also fashionably late, and quite frankly, given the amount of preparation I put into the last day's quiz, because it is the ultimate battle of minds,
and
I can't say I appreciate the gesture.
And maybe if people were so used to me playing air instruments, why not play some real instruments?
Oh dear.
Unfortunately, we've lost Arthur. He appears to have be having some kind of technical problems that may or may not have something to do with my wandering finger on the remove button.
Totally.
Donna Bain says Arthur needs to work on his timing, as does our next panelist, Mr. O'Donnell. How do you account for your tardiness?
Just got back from street work.
Correct answer.
I just placed 25 magazines.
He's immediately picking up
Sherry.
the mantle of Arthur's being triggering role.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well done there, Mark.
It's all true. Sorry, Sherry. Hey, shouldn't you be asleep and studying your Watchtower for tomorrow, sister?
How can you be studying and be asleep at the same time? Although I kind of get that.
You learn by osmosis. Don't you put your silver sword under your pillow at night?
No, I was watching Abernathy in Sydney for too long, and that just kept me energized. They're fast asleep, but I'm wide awake.
I want to see some cats before this show is over.
I'll see what I can do.
See what you can do. Got to see these little kittens. How old are they?
They're 16 weeks, so 4 months, but they're small. They're so tiny, and the way they run around, and oh my God, they're hysterical. They're fantastic. I love them.
They are brothers, right?
They are brothers, yes.
While I have the two of you, and before the show descends into how can I describe this diplomatically? Something less serious. Can we talk a little bit about ICSA? Because that's obviously looming on Monday. Yeah, as of Monday. So go on, Mark.
Well, Lloyd, so let me do a little mini interview of you, because you're the one that's going to be able to judge what you can say and what you can't say about what's going to happen next week. So then I'll ask you, number one, what can you tell us about your involvement, if anything, and what can you tell us about the schedule of events for next week for ICSA?
So I guess, this is why I'm bringing it up, because obviously many subscribers will be following what's happening in the UK, and I wanted to basically clue you guys in on what my plans are to cover it. So the hearings begin, actually the timetable's been published, so I can speak about the timetable. On Monday, so this Monday the 10th, basically in the morning and part of the afternoon, it's given over to interviewing former JWs and one survivor of abuse. So first up is a survivor of abuse called PRA5. Then it's the turn of they're having what was phrased as a hot tub, but they're calling it concurrent. So concurrently giving evidence will be myself and two representatives from a core participant group called Jehovah's Witness Advocates. There's a longer name, which I can't remember. But they are fellow core participants to the inquiry. So I'll be joined by Sarah Davies and Duncan Corbett, and we'll be giving evidence together. I guess the format will be something like they'll jump from one to the next when it comes to deciding who answers which questions.
So let me ask you the obvious question, Lloyd, is how can the public see this?
Yeah.
And can we get the time? I guess it would be in Greenwich Mean Time, right? It's London time, and there's Kimmy.
Yeah, so crumbs.
So
I don't have the timetable right in front of me.
Okay, so maybe before the end of the show.
Yeah, maybe before. But basically, if you follow the inquiry on Twitter, the website, that's probably the easiest thing, is to just give the website.
And I believe they broadcast on a YouTube channel, correct?
Correct. So they have the web address is iicsa.org.uk. They basically have everything on there, including the timetables, including links to how you can view the hearing. They have a YouTube channel that they use to live stream the hearings, and they also have a presence on Twitter. And typically they will have someone live tweeting what's happening in the hearing, as well as having the whole thing streamed. So there's going to be a lot of interest in this. And we've already seen examples from previous investigations where the media has kind of jumped on things very quickly, depending on what's been said. So there's a potential for a lot to happen. So going back to what I was saying earlier, I'm going to be giving evidence along with one survivor and 2 fellow ex-Jehovah's Witnesses in the morning. That may well spill over, or will almost certainly spill over, into the afternoon UK time. And then what's supposed to happen is Paul Gillies will give evidence. He is the head of the Office of Public Information. He's based in Warwick, New York. He's basically as high as you can get in the organization outside of the governing body and the governing body helpers. So he runs basically the PR machine for Watchtower.
Yeah, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about Gillies. I mean, you already have, but as I remember when we were in London back in 2017, of course, we paid a visit to London Bethel, as we are so inclined to do as a JWsurvey team.
Hi, Kimmy, by the way. Sorry, I didn't say
Hi,
that.
everyone. That's okay. Important topic.
Yes, so we're talking about ICSA and the plans for Monday, but we're going back to Paul Gillies, who's going to give evidence for Watchtower. So in 2017, our survey team, some of us visited the London branch and took a tour, and I remember seeing a large photograph on the wall of all of the British branch committee members. And I thought that a bit odd, because when you go to Warwick, as now, I don't know if this is the case now, but when you used to visit Brooklyn, I don't remember seeing a group photo of the governing body. But in Britain, you had about 20 members of the British branch committee, and there at the top was Paul Gillies. So he has been entrenched in the JW organization, and I understand that. Correct me if I'm wrong, I know he's moved to the US, but I believe he was in a top position at the UK headquarters, maybe the branch coordinator. And I know that he was involved in media, particularly when the Jehovah's Witnesses, when the Guardian newspaper uncovered the United Nations scandal, and he got into a back and forth media battle with Stephen Bates, the Guardian correspondent, who uncovered that story about the connection between the Jehovah's Witnesses and their 9-year relationship as a non-governmental organization for the UN. So Paul Gillies has been right there defending the organization. And so without saying, maybe you can say or not say
it's been put, common knowledge that he's going to be representing the organization for quite some time. And he obviously has a reputation. He actually appeared in the 2019 annual meeting describing basically what his job is, and basically boasting about the influence that the Office of Public Information has when it comes to influencing government officials and the media. He brandished a Newsweek article, the famous one with the New World Translation with the bear claw marks on it. He brandished that and basically took credit for it and said, we helped to get this favourable publicity together. He also, as you point out, has been not just on the branch committee in the UK at the London branch, but head of the branch committee. So, if you're trying to find someone who can speak for the organisation in Britain, but also is as high placed as possible in the current hierarchy in America, I don't know how you'd find. I don't know how you could reasonably expect someone more well positioned than him. So Lloyd, it's going to be very interesting to see what evidence he has to share.
It certainly is. What's your take on his movement from the UK to the United States branch? Because I understand he's essentially taken up a new position within the United States, at least at headquarters.
Yeah.
In the
US. Again, it's all in the 2019 talk. He describes what his role is and what the Office of Public Information does. But my suspicion, I don't know this, but my suspicion is that he's probably been ensconced in Chelmsford for probably the past few months due to the pandemic. Perhaps that might have factored into things, but I just get the feeling that he's been pretty much in the UK for ICSA. I could be wrong, of course. I don't know his movements, but
I can't imagine that he would not have been. He has to be in London to testify, so I don't think they would have risked not having him there.
Yeah,
in the UK because of movements between the. If anything, the witnesses are going to be cautious about not having someone placed in a position they need them to be in to testify. Of course, I suppose he's going to be doing it remotely anyway.
Yeah, so it's all taking place virtually basically over Zoom. So that's what's going to happen on Monday and Tuesday. We were initially planning to do a Watchtower in Focus live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern on Monday. That will now take place on Wednesday because we want to allow time, first of all, for Gillies to complete his evidence in case, as is likely to happen, his evidence continues into the Tuesday. And we also want to allow time to gauge some of the response. Let's say if there's some media, we want to be able to gauge the response among ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. So the show will go out. And by the way, there won't be a Last Days live stream on Wednesday because we want to focus everything in the coming week on what's happening with ICSA. So Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing a Watchtower in Focus live stream on ICSA.
And am I to understand that next Saturday's quiz questions will be taken directly from the things that Paul Gillies said during his testimony?
Oh, come on.
I'm going to have to get creative when it comes to the out of context round, but nice try. Nice try.
We could use we could use stuff from today. We know we're on the show. we know we're on today.
Now I have to ask, did you watch Wednesday?
No.
Mark and Kim.
Sorry, I'm just too busy. My reactions just be funny. No, I wish I could have. I just was working full time and caring for my dad. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
Sleep is far too important.
Kimmy, as everyone knows, this is in fact a show predominantly. We do every now and then digress onto serious matters involving cults, but first and foremost, it's a show about cats. So what can you tell us about your particular feline?
Well, he's over there by the door now.
Really?
I can grab him. It's just Charlie. He was trying to make his appearance. Let me grab him. And Mark's got a cat, I think, in his room, too.
It just gives Arthur a bit more time. He's currently, I would assume, hurtling on his bike down a path somewhere in Romania. Okay, so what can you tell us about Charlie?
I guess Charlie's probably 13 now. I think he's a Norwegian forest cat.
Yeah.
We found him chasing butterflies in our yard. He was like 6 months old. I think someone passed away and they let the cat out. And
did you say a Norwegian forest cat?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So if I were to take a walk in a Norwegian forest, might I expect to see?
You may.
Yes.
You might. That is one cool thing about cats is that they say that cats domesticated themselves, that when people started storing grain and rice, that cats started coming up to people because they knew there'd always be food, spilling over. So the cats started domesticating themselves with people, started following people. And if they check the DNA of like the current domestic cat, not like a breed. They're very similar to, the original, cats back like from Egypt and Africa. So they haven't changed much in a very long period of time. So they're still buttheads.
I'm imagining Charlie or a creature like Charlie prowling the fjords in search of maybe some salmon.
I don't know if you can hear him purring or not. He's purring. Okay. I don't know if you can hear him.
Oh, we have another cat, of course.
We have an Abyssinian.
A newer edition.
Sherry tried to tell us cats go to sleep at night. I know that doesn't happen. Hey, look at the baby.
I know, and he's so cute. This is Abernathy. Oh, who's getting a bit excited right now? Hang on. Just stay there, Bubby.
Hi, baby.
So tell us about the Abyssinian breed and its origins. Are we to understand that this is an ancient breed?
Yes, they are an Egyptian breed. The ears are their main feature, and our two boys are yet to grow into their ears. But they're just adorable. They're very affectionate, very active cats.
I understand they are the arch rivals of the Norwegian forest cat.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'll go with that.
Maybe
Go
in
with
a
that.
future Last Days live stream, we can pit them against each other.
No, Charlie's too easygoing.
Well, I've picked the more easygoing of the two because this one's Abernathy, but Sydney is just wild. He's just he's quite a cat, that one.
I like their cat tree.
Oh,
Yeah, they have quite a condo.
yeah, they love it. They've made a cat run out of our lounge room. You should see the laps they do around the kitchen island and then over the lounges and
Oh, they get the zoomies, huh?
oh yeah, they are. But they're just beautiful. They're so adorable. We love them.
We do. And just a reminder that the Last Days live stream is predominantly a show about
About
cats.
cats.
So, Mark, obviously every now and then when we're not talking about cats, we do Last Days quizzes. And are you feeling confident ahead of today's quiz, given the fact that you're not very good at them?
I think the quizzes are only as good as the quiz master.
Oh, ouch. Ouch, Mark.
So it's gonna, now I will give credit to the quiz master for tripping up, and rightly so, the audience, the not the audience, the participants when it comes to those great questions that make us wonder, did Watchtower write that?
I'm hoping I can make it 3 in a row for they wouldn't write that. I'm feeling quite confident, but we shall see.
Yeah.
And have you heard about the new round?
I heard when I was just tuning in, you've got something new, so maybe you'll have to.
Right. I'm
refresh
interested
us
to
on
know
that.
your reaction. It's called the Fanny Pack of Facts.
Do I need
any
to
idea?
grab my fanny pack and pull some facts out of it? Because I have a fanny pack back here.
22 years of fanny packs.
Yeah. So right. So
Really?
maybe I should share my picture. No, I get some great criticism when I travel and put my passport and wallet, and I like to use the fanny pack when I'm traveling internationally. And
I make fun of them too.
yeah. So
It's the classic O'Donnell look.
It
in
is.
fairness. Yeah.
And the thing is, now I started taking criticism for that back in 2017. Although I just found a photo. I've been wearing fanny packs for, since before it was cool, and now I understand that they're quite back in fashion and very trendy.
Well,
So-
you heard it here from Mark O'Donnell. So why would it be wrong? And here we have Mr. Weber,
back in his
I'm back.
office.
Yeah.
fashionably late and presumably confident regarding his prospects for the Last Days quiz.
Hello, Redwoods.
Hey, Arthur.
Hey, Arthur. So you're missing your cat, so that'll complete the cat. Well, of course, Lloyd's got to come up with a cat at some point during the program.
I have Dingo.
Who's dead
We have-
as always. Yeah.
We have a dead dog.
Dead dog.
Oh, it moved.
It's alive. Yay!
Yes, he'll be needing to urinate soon enough.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right, so shall we get the quiz done, because it's likely to be a longer than usual one because of the added round.
Oh, there really is an added round. Okay, I thought you were joking.
Yeah, Sherry might need to wake Sasha up. I can foresee that happening in the next 10 minutes.
No, we'll just have
phone it
Sherry.
out. husband.
Teams are already decided, so let's
Not
commence.
gonna happen.
Let's commence the Last Days quiz.
As one brother put it, stay alive to 75.
Welcome to the last day's quiz, the ultimate battle of minds. As two teams of today's panelists face off against each other to prove their knowledge of this show. Arthur, mute yourself, man. It's common courtesy while I'm doing my introduction. Anyway, usual spiel. Let's begin the quiz. Does someone have a coin?
Oh,
Right
Mark
here.
always has his British coin or
Yeah, I
Australian
do.
coin. Or
I was
whatever.
trying to see, I was trying to check in my fanny pack here to see if
okay.
I had something more interesting.
I think Sherry should flip a coin
Harry
this
has
time.
a coin this week.
But
So-
is it a $2 Australian coin?
no, it's a $1 Australian coin. Thank you very much.
Gotcha beat.
Okay. So Arthur, would you like head or tails?
Arthur, I think you're muted.
His
Oh.
mute is mic'd.
I'll go for heads this time.
Okay. Sherry, can you flip the coin, please?
Oh, heads!
Okay, so Arthur
Also-
goes first. Arthur's knights go first. We have 5 rounds to get through.
He has to be cheating.
Good luck. Good
Cheats
luck to
the
both
coin toss.
teams. And although Mark O'Donnell mentions this in jest, I would ask that both teams remember it's only really fun if we try and avoid cheating. So
Very true.
they wouldn't write that is the first round. You have to tell me which of 3 quotes I have made up, and to help avoid the possibility of any Googling or any searching of Watchtower Online Library, I have again dipped into my considerable collection of past publications from before Watchtower Online Library. And up first is the booklet, I don't know whether you can see it there, The Final War. And this is from 1932.
Read it just the
So-
other day.
I'm sure you did. So, I will be reading 3 quotes allegedly from this book, but one of them will be fake. You need to tell me which one it is, and we'll get started. Quote number 1. The great climax is at hand. The kings of earth now set themselves against God and against his anointed stone. Arrogantly and in defiance of God, the rulers of the earth go on in their wrongful way. That's quote 1. Quote 2. Big business holds the common man in its unrelenting grip, extracting far and above the mint, dill, and cumin, but also the bread from his table. All the while, the religionists keep the devil's unsuspecting subjects in ignorant compliance, tickling their ears with soothing deceptions and frog-like expressions. That's quote number 2. Quote number 3. Satan has builded a mighty organization, the visible part of which is the commercial and political rulers of the earth, which rule is sanctified and joined in by the religions of the world, and particularly so-called organized Christianity. The doom of that organization is sounded. Soon it shall fall. So which of those 3 quotes have I made up?
Is this open to either team?
No,
So this is
just for
Arthur's
us.
Knight.
No, that's you and
Oh!
Jerry.
Just for us. And my first hunch, just out of the blue, is quote number 3 is likely
agree.
to be written by Lloyd.
I agree.
Quote number 3, final answer, Lloyd.
Lock it in. Is that your final answer? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Your answer is number 3,
Yes.
and your answer is incorrect. It was actually quote 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think Jerry would have used that word builded.
Amazingly, Rutherford couldn't write English properly, and so he said builded rather than built.
Hang on a minute.
So-
It wasn't that got me hung up. It was that you would come up with mint, cumin, and dill.
Remember last week he threw in pineapple?
Yeah,
and
that's
watermelon
impressive.
mood? You tricked us last week with that weird fruit combination.
Whoa.
It's my trademark. So
I feel
I'm
like you may have borrowed that from something else, though. I really do.
Here's an interesting fact, okay, that Rutherford couldn't have written mint, dill, and cumin because mint, dill, and cumin is in the New World Translation and not, as far as I know, in the King James Version. So if you'd have known your King James Version, you would have known.
Which I did not.
So we move on.
They
And
might,
I'm really-
they might have used the American Standard Version as well.
Oh, okay,
back that
Althea.
time.
All right, okay. We move on to Team O'Donnell. I will be quizzing them based on another publication from yesteryear, the booklet World Conquest Soon by God's Kingdom. And this was published in 1955. I'm going to read you 3 quotes. You need to tell me which one is fake. Quote number 1. What then will world conquest by God's kingdom soon mean to you? Your sudden destruction? It will, if at Armageddon you are found on the side now being warned of coming destruction, this world, including Christendom. That's quote number 1. Quote number 2. It is vitally important for you now to learn more about the Bible's good news of how you can decide to live forever under God's conquering kingdom. Now is the time to decide before divine anger flares up at Armageddon. To delay decision is to invite destruction. And quote number 3. If you are reading this booklet, doubtless you will have met in person a future New World subject, one of the multitudinous witnesses of Jehovah. You will have observed their calm demeanour, neat attire, and loving concern for their fellow man. The children are happy and well behaved, the women are submissive and earnest, and the family heads are productive and wise. Which is fake? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
Submissive.
And I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them, and I hate to ask you to repeat those.
I hate
Some
you
of
to
them,
I hate you
hate
to
you to
ask me
ask
to
that
repeat
too.
them.
I don't know, man. I don't know. 3.
Multitudinous, is that a word that they
First,
use?
I said number 1, definitely not. Then I said number 2, definitely not. And then I said number 3, absolutely not.
I think
Like
one is
Mike.
real. I think Lloyd wouldn't have been that simple.
What do you think about 3?
Let's say that. I mean, it's so long. Lloyd, like,
Could
I
you
don't
just
know.
read 3 one more time?
Multitudinous. Be submissive.
If
so
you
on
are
and so
reading
forth.
this booklet, doubtless you will have met in person a future New World subject, one of the multitudinous witnesses of Jehovah. You will have observed their calm demeanour, neat attire, and loving concern for their fellow man. The children are happy and well behaved. The women are submissive and earnest, and the family heads are productive and wise.
That cannot be real.
That's so crazy. It probably is real.
Yeah, but we've been fooled by that
All right, let's
before.
go 3. Let's go 3.
It's 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if Lloyd would use the word.
I mean,
multitudinous.
now the question is, would Rutherford have used? Were they calling them their publications booklets? I know we call them booklets, so it's a 32-page booklet. Would he have referred to that as a booklet? Lloyd certainly would. That's the only thing I question is the term booklet. I don't know if they called
Hang
it
on
that.
a minute, Mark. Out of that whole sentence, that's the only thing you question?
And
Well,
actually,
because
it's
the
I
not,
other-
question that word
the other
multitudinous.
stuff
Would
is
they have
better
used that
for-
word, Mark? Multitudinous?
Just honestly.
it's not Rutherford the Snore because it's 55, 53 or 55 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Can I just
They would-
can I
let's
just
just
make
go
a point of
3.
order here? If there's any more interjections of a psychological nature, or in efforts to change the voting pattern of the other team by Arthur's Knights, points will be docked. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear, but I didn't do any.
No, he didn't.
It's It's
I
still
get your-
influencing.
I get what
It's
you're
still
saying, Lloyd.
influencing.
No,
Let's
look, I
just
get
go
what you're
through.
saying. I would have said the same thing about Nor. That would Nor have also used the term booklet? I don't know if
Let's just go 3. We're
Two
either
or
right
three.
or wrong. It's
I
either
don't
2 or
know.
3. I don't know. Would they have used the word multitudinous? They did, right, in the 50s. So maybe it is 2.
I'm going to have to press you for an answer.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Mark. You choose.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting fooled by 3. So let's go with 2. Final answer, number 2.
Mr. O'Donnell, you have chosen with 5 points at stake. You have chosen number 2 as your final answer. You are incorrect. It was number 3.
We were right. We should've
Go
gone
with the
there,
gut.
but
Go with the gut
It was
instinct.
so long and crazy. Lloyd was having a good time
Yeah.
with that one.
Yeah.
I questioned that word multitudinous, right? If they would have used
I
that.
should have listened to my gut on the term booklet.
Yeah.
3 in a row. I've managed to fool all of you.
And even Mark, and he is like this, collector.
The
connoisseur,
guru of
right?
the.
Well, you can collect without reading that
But
nonsense.
you did read that nonsense. You got in trouble for it. So you were told
So we
you could
move
collect
on.
it but not read it.
We move on to Songs of Doom. And this week I will have to just randomly pick from Sing Praises to Jehovah. Let's see here. So who's up first? Arthur's Knights.
Arthur's Knights.
Doop, doop, doop.
No pressure. No pressure.
Okay, complete the lyric. Hey there, all you thirsty ones.
Come drink life's water free.
Correct.
Something like that.
I knew
Oh,
that,
come
Nice.
on.
was the easy one.
Come
Have
on.
scooped 2 points.
Oh, please.
I'm gonna have to. Now that points.
Usually, you extend that verse and then ask what's the next complicated
No, they
verse.
can be short or they can be long. If you watch the shows,
I think there's a bias here.
Oh,
just a point of order for Team O'Donnell. Any more questioning of the quiz or its supreme master, points will be docked.
It's bad
So,
enough.
so
What about
Arthur's
mocking?
Knights,
Can we mock the master,
O'Donnell.
supreme master?
okay, just a point of order here. Any mocking of the supreme master of all he surveys will be punished brutally.
What would one so low possibly hope to gain by mocking one so high?
You
Where's
lost all
that from?
control,
Here's a
Lloyd.
quiz. Where is that from?
Right, so we
Think
move
about
on
that.
to Team O'Donnell,
Someone
who
will know in the
are
chat.
trying my patience, it must be said, and I'll try not to let that be
We're
reflected.
trying to let you have fun, Lloyd.
I'll try not to let that be
Fun.
reflected.
P-H-U-N.
And it's really funny.
And I'm changing my answer to number 3 for the first question.
oh,
Because that
Too
is
late.
it's not my final answer.
too late.
Tail light, mate.
He's reading his songbook.
Okay, so complete the lyric, Team O'Donnell. I've set my king upon my holy mountain.
Would you kindly sing it for us if you remember how?
Okay, I'm going to give you a bit of a build-up because I'm feeling generous.
Mm.
I am the Lord, there is no other.
other.
I am the Lord, Jehovah is my name. I've set my king upon my holy mountain.
Damn it, I knew all those words, but the next line.
All he has purposed, he will surely do.
Is that your final answer, Team O'Donnell?
No, but that is like not even close in comparison to the first song where it's like handing it on a platter.
I've literally sung you more than I would normally sing to
And I knew
help
all
you
those
get it.
words too.
What was the lyric
The
again? You
lyric
don't have to
was,
sing it.
I've set my king upon my holy mountain.
Holy mountain.
What you have purposed, we shall surely.
I'm going
do.
to pass it on to I'm going to pass it on to Arthur's Knights.
You're very
Bow
close.
to his
Mark.
Wait, he's
Sherry's
reading
name.
It's
something.
passed
so-
on to Arthur's Knights.
Bow
I
to
think-
his rule, his sun begins to reign.
No,
Correct.
shut up. Arthur. Oh, really?
Correct,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, shut up, Arthur.
That's their final answer. Shut up, Arthur.
Okay, so we move to the next.
So next week, make sure you use that out of context round. Who said shut up, Arthur?
I'm feeling cheating has occurred.
We
He
move
was
to the
reading
next.
something off a screen, so.
Yeah.
I did try and help you there by singing more than
A
I
lot.
needed to.
And the best part is I knew all
That
of
was
those
like
lines
the
with you.
difficulty level between Team Arthur's question and Team O'Donnell's question is like the
Complete
never
the
mind.
lyric.
You're gonna get muted, Mark.
Arthur's Knights, complete the lyric. God's voice keeps on calling, oh, walk in the way.
Terry,
No, I know this. I know this. I just need the melody. A walk in the way. I know this. It was a double
Eyes
whammy
on the webcam.
I am
Mr.
looking at the webcam.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Arthur is reading something.
I trust you implicitly, Sherry.
Okay, since you sung some
We can see your eyes. What are you looking at, Arthur?
God's voice keeps on calling, oh,
The
walk in the way.
The way that
way
God
that Jehovah has shown us today.
Correct.
Okay, there you go.
2 points, and we move on to Team O'Donnell.
I think you need to put a little more thought into these and prepare ahead of time instead of just whipping open the book at the last
It's gonna
minute
make us lose
and handing
thought,
Team
Mark.
Arthur these easy questions.
Oh, hang on a minute. So
Point
that
of
means-
order. Point of order. Team O'Donnell will stop making snarky remarks about my preparation because I've actually spent about 2 hours preparing this today.
See,
So you can just do one as far as I'm
2
concerned.
hours. Now that's
Yes.
way on the other end of the scale.
Criticism, criticism, criticism. That's all I get.
That's all you get.
You're unbalanced.
Well, to be,
All right, let him
honest,
focus.
to be honest, it takes actually the feedback we receive from our viewers that will confirm or infirm the properness and the educational nature of this show.
Team O'Donnell, complete the lyric. Precious gifts from God our children are, a possession to train and to teach.
Can you sing it for us? I don't remember the melody.
Precious gifts from God our children are, a possession to train and to teach.
Na, da, 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 da. I don't know. I've done such a brain dump on these things.
Good for you.
A possession to train and to teach.
Train and to teach. I just my synapses, Mark, are gone on these songs.
Because there's no indication that either of you know the lyric, I'm going to pass it on to Arthur's Knights, who are going to give me the lyric, which is,
Like the arrows of a mighty man.
even though he's not singing them in tune.
He never sang them in English.
Right, Arthur.
How does he know all these?
Arthur,
Yeah.
sing the full lyric according to the melody with which it's sung.
I need the sheet music.
Oh, do you?
But how do you
Do
know the
you?
lyrics? If
Well,
you
how
don't
do
know
you
it's
remember
sung?
the lyrics if you can't remember the music?
Yeah, what are you doing, Arthur?
Nothing.
Really?
Really?
I give him credit because he didn't learn these songs in Romanian. I mean, in English, right? You grew up hearing them in Romanian.
In Romanian, yeah.
So when did you ever hear them in English?
That you would know the
Anyway,
words.
Arthur's Knights have managed to scoop an impressive 8 points from that round because Team O'Donnell didn't
I've
remember
had-
anything.
I've had the Watchtower Library since 2003.
What?
But you
you've read it
listen to
all?
the songs?
I haven't listened to the songs in
And you've
English.
memorized all the English lyrics?
I've compared sometimes the lyrics from the Romanian with the English.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry
We
for
move
the
on to the next round.
suspicion.
We move on to the next round. Out of context. The round that Tim O'Donnell doesn't like. Which live stream panelist said the following in our previous episode? We begin with Arthur's Knights, who said, in theory, we should be able to release it into the woodland.
Well, that was Lloyd about the rabbit.
Correct.
Yes, that's right.
We move on to Tim O'Donnell, who said this. Because of this I own you idea, you have to do what I tell you to do.
I don't even know who's on the show.
Yeah, we had this conversation literally in every quiz, but the information is available freely on YouTube.
I was going to at least look it up, and I could listen at work with my headphones.
No time for
Feel free
that.
to take a guess.
Yeah. What was it again?
Because of this I own you idea, you have to do what I tell you to do.
Is it Sasha?
I own you idea.
Terry made
So
such a giggle about it. I wonder if it was something Sasha was saying in jest.
who else might have been on the show?
Don't listen to me.
It does sound more like Sherry, I think.
I was going with Sasha, but sarcasm, right? Like you own me, according to Watchtower. I don't care. Just give a joke.
I don't know. In my
Give an
head, I
answer.
hear Sherry saying it more than Sasha, but it could be someone else. And it
Well, we
could
don't
have been
really
Lloyd
know. So
himself.
we're just guessing. So let's just give. Go ahead,
But
Mark.
no, I
give
don't
the
think it
answer.
was Lloyd.
We just don't know for sure if both the Souzas were on the show.
Should we at least be given that information?
Because you're currently hysterical, Kim. Can I press you for a final answer?
I'm going Sasha. Don't even know he was on the show.
So, Sasha, your final answer. I'm here to tell you, you are incorrect. It was
Sherry.
Javier.
Javier.
It was Sherry.
We've already kicked
Sherry.
Javier off the team.
And
Forgotten
we should have
completely.
gone with that guy. Cherry was giggling, so she was giving it away. I should have gone. I knew it was a Souza.
We
You
moved
didn't
to-
think that I could be sarcastic. Shame on you.
We moved to
I
Arthur's
apologize. I
Knights.
only thought Sasha could be sarcastic.
Arthur's Knights,
Yes.
who said the following. All I could think of was Tony with wings flapping around up there.
That was Sasha. I remember.
Correct. 2 points. It's a clean sweep from both rounds. We move back
Good
to
job, guys.
Team O'Donnell, who said the following. There's no creative license. They don't allow themselves creative license.
Nah, go Lloyd. There's no sense in analyzing it because we're just guessing.
Well, we could analyze the phrase "creative license." Who would say that?
Lloyd or Arthur.
I would agree. One of the two,
50-50.
possibly even Javier, or possibly even Sasha, or possibly even Sherry.
Shocker.
Was Javi on the show Wednesday? Why are you throwing his name out there?
If
we
you'd
aren't?
watched it, you would know. So,
your gut,
I'm
Mark,
going to
go
press
ahead and
you,
answer, pressing.
press you for
Your
a final
gut-
answer.
Your gut answer is Lloyd, right, Kimmy? Is that what you're?
It's Lloyd or Arthur,
So-
so we'll go Lloyd. We're probably
Okay.
wrong. It doesn't really matter at this point.
Stab in the dark time. Yeah, we'll go with Lloyd.
Incorrect. It was Javier. So, you're still waiting for your first points, while Arthur's Knights have stormed ahead and currently sit pretty on 12 points.
Good job, guys.
We go into the first time ever for the the fanny pack of facts.
Oh, really is a thing. Okay.
In this round, we unzip the fanny pack of facts to reveal statements about Watchtower's past. But just as a real fanny pack is uncertain as a fashion statement, the facts revealed by the fanny pack of facts are not always to be trusted. You must decide which are true and which are false. 2 questions each, 5 points for each correctly answered. We begin with Arthur's Knights. A slide showing the construction of the Panama Canal is included in the photodrama of creation. True or false?
True.
Correct. Arthur's Knights scoop another 5 points. We move to Team O'Donnell. True or false? The 1955 book Qualified to be Ministers has a chapter headed Exemplary Hygiene. Is it true or false?
So that was the early version of the Theocratic Ministry School guidebook. So it is possible. They didn't include that in the later editions, but it is possible. What do you think, Kimmy? Exemplary hygiene.
Yeah.
You know, this is like qualified to be ministers, so that could potentially be something that they would have included in a book about being a minister.
Right, especially in the 50s. So we'll go true. Final answer.
Is that your final answer? Yeah.
It is.
Your answer is incorrect. It was false. I made it up. I've got you again.
The rest of the show, if we think it's one, we're going to go with the other because our gut is off.
We move back to Arthur's
Should have
Knights.
grabbed the book.
The fanny pack of facts takes its first prisoner. A.H. Macmillan's name appears on the front of the very first issue of Zion's Watchtower as a regular contributor. Is it true or false?
H. Macmillan is false.
Correct. You scoop another 5 points. And
That was too early for Macmillan. That one
And
again. You hand them these platter questions, but go
and we
ahead.
go
Lloyd.
to just a point of order for Mr. O'Donnell.
I do agree. Those dirty questions were so easy.
The order of questioning is determined by what?
The coin flip.
The coin flip.
Good point, Lloyd. I apologize.
which I say is rigged.
Definitely not rigged. Because you don't know whether it's going to favor you or not.
How
So
can
it's
we
just
trust
random.
that was an honest coin flip? Because
And then you don't know
remember,
which ones they're going to
Sherry flipped the coin.
If you had some points, I would be docking them by now, Mr. O'Donnell.
Going into the negative.
This is going to be the first show ever that ends in negative points, Mark. So you better
There's definitely negativity going
pipe
on here.
down.
Okay. Rutherford's 1941 book, Children, features a full-color homoerotic crucifixion painting by Max Klinger on page 265. Is it true or is it false?
I'd say that's true unless
That's
we have
true.
the book wrong. I mean, that's definitely
remember that
a
picture,
painting from, it was definitely a color
Yeah.
picture. And
I just hope we don't have the book incorrect.
that's where you have the torture stakes. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to describe it any more than that.
We'll go true.
Yeah.
Hopefully Lloyd doesn't throw a.
Unless we have the book wrong.
Right.
Or the page wrong.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
We reserve the right to change our answer if the answer is indeed found to be incorrect.
Your insubordination is duly noted. You have answered as your final answer true, and I'm here to tell you it's false. It was, in fact, the 1927 book Creation. You were
okay.
2 decades out. So,
Wow.
May I make a comment
Yeah,
on this?
I knew I had the book wrong. I should have known I had the book wrong.
Yeah, you should have known that, Mark.
As long as it's a glowing comment about this quiz or its host, you may proceed with your comment.
Yes, it's a comment on why I was thinking it's indeed false, because a non-witness painter wouldn't do a painting with torture stakes. He would do a painting with a crucifixion, and crucifixions weren't in Watchtower literature after 1936 when they
well, it was a 1927 book.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for that, Arthur.
That is a good
Children was in
point
1941.
because that's right. Arthur is right because he's saying it was 1941. So, however, Lloyd didn't say. However, Lloyd didn't say crucifixion, did he, or did he?
The angel of death in ancient Egypt, the fanny pack of facts has passed over this panel and has decimated Team O'Donnell, awarding instead 10 points to Arthur's Knights. So as things stand, Arthur's Knights are on 22 points.
We're not doing good.
Team O'Donnell are on, there's no way of saying it, 0.
It's an even number.
Nada.
You're actually so far behind that Arthur's Knights have actually won even before we do Apocalypse Delayed. So congratulations, Arthur's Knights, but Team O'Donnell can at least salvage some respect by getting at least some points on the board. So we move into
poor Renato. Right now he's like he's turning over in his Brazilian bed right now, or
he would have done.
He never got behind us, Mark.
He would have done a video, actually. He does support you, by the way, and he would have done a video, but he was just a bit busy with his professional career this week.
We've just let him down.
I think, frankly, you have.
We have. I think we might be kicked off the survey team.
We don't mince our words here on the Last Days live stream, and to be blunt, Team O'Donnell, you've been failures.
Complete and utter.
Disappointment, Lloyd, disappointment.
You've disappointed me. You've disappointed Sherry.
Diana, Jessica.
You've disappointed Arthur. But most of all, you've disappointed yourselves.
I thought you were going to say Jehovah.
Even our cats have run away.
Your cats are abandoned to you, is the utterance of the Sovereign Lord Jehovah.
But never fear, Jehovah's Spirit is here.
I think my friends aren't watching this week, which is great because they're not seeing this.
You know what
they're
we
probably
should
going to watch
do?
it in the replay.
We grabbed the old Theocratic Ministry School reviews that I don't know if you recall them.
That would be funny, Lloyd, as a segment 1 week.
We won't do that, Mr. O'Donnell, because we still have one round to play, and it's called Apocalypse Delayed.
Well, let's get on with it.
You have to tell me in which year the following quote was printed, because believe me, it was printed, and it was printed in Watchtower Publications. Damn it! So, Arthur's Knights. When was the following printed? The universal war to the vindication of Jehovah's name is near. The only place of safety is in Jehovah's organization under Christ. Was it printed in 1935, 1950, or 1965?
My first hunch, 1935.
It could have been any of them, which is the whole point of this part. So, okay, 1935.
We've won anyway, so...
What's the matter?
Arthur's Knights, you are correct. It was 1935. It was actually tellingly from the booklet Universal War Near, which we featured in our last Days quiz. So there we go.
There you go.
We move on to Team O'Donnell. Is it even worth keeping track of the score at this point? But that's 10 points anyway.
We're not put this show up today on YouTube.
Team O'Donnell, when was the following printed in Watchtower Publications? Seeing that by privilege we are living in the time of his presence, and that the full manifestation of it will take place shortly at Armageddon, to the eternal glory of Jehovah God, let us watch that we conduct ourselves in this present evil world as those who have this blessed hope before us? Was it printed in 1929, 1939, or 1949?
Do you have a gut feeling, Mark?
I feel like it's a little bit modernish, like 49, compared to the other two that are older.
All right, we'll go 49. Doesn't matter at this point. We've already lost.
Is that your final answer?
1949.
Team O'Donnell, I'm here to tell you, you are
Wrong.
correct. It was 1949. You have won some points. Salvaged a bit of pride at the death.
We eliminated the goose egg.
Minor 49er and Scooby-Doo.
It's indeed Watchtower 1949, August 1st. And when I was doing my preparation for this quiz, which was questioned earlier in this show,
Your 2-hour prep.
I consulted a new addition to my collection.
We should have known that. He's got
Very
the
kindly sent in. This is a bound Watchtower, Volume 70, 1949. Had a flick through and found a prediction that Armageddon was coming soon. So
There you go.
Well, that's
any
good
day
to
now.
know.
Any day now.
Just
Well
around the
done.
corner.
Well done for getting some points on the board. I've actually had a message from Renato. Is it something I can read out? Renato says, so I just tuned into the live stream to check it, and I'm embarrassed for Team O'Donnell. I wish I could hop in and send them a message. Should I give him the link?
Yes.
Renato knows how to contact me.
I just feel as though maybe he has some professional insight to add to your terrible failure in this quiz. Anyway, let's go to the final question. Arthur's Knights. However, the promised peace that follows hard on the heels of righteous war will overtake the generation now living on the earth. Bible chronology puts its finger on our generation as the one to see physical facts foretold to come in the last days. Was this printed in 1949, 1963, or 1982?
I reckon that.
63.
Okay, I'll defer to you. You've been right the whole way along.
Is that your final answer?
Oh, should it be 49?
It sounded
It's
all
definitely
good
not
to me.
80s. It's definitely not 80s.
It's
Eyes
not
on the
80s.
webcam.
I agree.
What's your final
Not
answer,
80s.
Weber?
19.
Eyes
Unless
on the
it's-
webcam.
I am with my eyes on the webcam, Lloyd. Unless it's a 1963-ish book or booklet, it might be the same 1949 Watchtower. What do you say, Sherry?
It sounded like an old comment to me.
Eyes on the
Definitely
webcam.
not. Yeah, well, I'm.
Okay, final answer, 1963.
Your answer is incorrect. It was 1949.
Ah.
And I also used this is actually from The Awake.
I figured he did that.
Nicely bound.
Yeah, it is. Mark has a story about how they used to bind the bound volumes. So before we actually go to our final question, I think we should add an old friend of the show.
Mr. Gonsalves.
Hi.
Here he is.
Hi, Renato. We're so
Renato. You've been watching on. What are your thoughts as a professional?
Okay, so I haven't even been able to watch the live stream today because I'm covering a game at the same time. But it was halftime, so I was like, I got 15 minutes. Let's check the live stream. And as soon as as the live stream starts in my YouTube, I hear that Team O'Donnell has 0 points. 0 points. There's a new round, and they have 0 points after 4 rounds. What is happening? What is happening to this team? The game was over before the last round. What is wrong with you?
We had no support, people in the comments. You weren't
Renato,
there,
I need you to examine. I need you to watch this back again later and survey it for cheating, for bad questions, for bad coin flips, for all sorts. I think it's a conspiracy. There's so much fraud going on in this
Point
show.
of order. You do actually now have points that I can dock. So, point of order. Okay.
Negative points of order.
So, Team O'Donnell is so bad today that Sherry is doing well. Team D'Souza is doing well today, and Team O'Donnell isn't. That's how bad they are.
Are we approaching a point where Team D'Souza could easily overtake Team O'Donnell?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
they won't win this thing ever again, apparently, so they can't even get points now. So,
Remember, you're our fan, Renato. You've got to stay in our corner through thick and thin.
Exactly. That's why I'm a fan. When you're a real fan, you tell the truth about your team when the team is really bad.
Oh, I see. So
That's why.
You should have
verbal discipline.
Older. The fanny pack questions you should have had.
Get your things together. Also, why is it called?
I feel like you're a head coach, and you're just dressing us down to get us fired up for the next.
It's tough
round.
love. It's tough love from Renato. What's the question, Renato?
Why is it called the fanny pack effect?
It's an inside joke, and
Okay.
it may or may not have something to do with an accessory often found on someone's person.
Wow,
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those since I was 4 years old. I'm almost 30.
You're in the media, Renato.
97, 98 with him wearing one.
You've got to check your facts here. You're in sports. You're not in fashion. This is a fashionable statement now.
I don't think
trending.
you're in fashion either if you're wearing
No.
Thank you.
And let's not even go anywhere near what that actually means in Australia.
Or
Or
in the
in the UK. Or in the UK, yeah.
Australia.
But when you add the word pack to it,
it gets worse.
It changes it. It dignifies it. It makes it into a superior concept.
You keep telling yourself that, Mark.
And anyway, Renato, you have a lot of work ahead, but thank you so much for diving in to give your professional insights on the abject failure of Team O'Donnell.
Before I leave, get your stuff together, Team O'Donnell. Just get it together.
Than't Coach.
Wise words.
Got it. Next week we're gonna take it.
Okay.
We'll make you proud.
You lucky there won't be a Wednesday live stream, so maybe you have a chance.
I think Renato needs to ask the questions.
After all, Renato, what is it a battle of?
It's a war of intellect.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. You see, Renato gets it.
My self-esteem is no longer tied up in me knowing all of this cult stuff. So I'm proud that I'm losing because I have dumped that.
I think the only intellect is the singing part, which you guys did beat us on. The rest is just guessing.
Anyway, enough of the smack talk. Thank you so much for joining us, Renato, and we'll hopefully see you on the next quiz. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
Bye. And welcome
So,
back to the Battle of Minds.
We have the Battle of Minds has one more question because
bring it on.
Team O'Donnell are on 10 points. They could double that and still lose. That's how badly they've lost today. So tell me which year, please tell me which year this was printed in. Let all friend or foe who observe Jehovah's Witnesses fulfilling the prophecy regarding the kingdom preaching know that this too is one of the most telling evidences of the kingdom's presence and of its world conquest at Armageddon as being soon. Yes, soon, not to spare civilization from havoc by heading off a new world war with atomic weapons, for Armageddon will be far more terrible than atomic world war, but because it is God's time and the evidences do not lie.
Ooh, that was one long quote.
Oh my God, that's a Fred Franz statement if I've ever heard one.
Was this printed in 1948, 1955, or 1963?
Well, it could have been any of them because it was during the Cold War period. I'm leaning towards the middle. but that's definitely a Franz quote. And what was it? 1948 was the first one.
So you have 1948, 1955, or 1963.
Mm-hmm. I feel like 55.
Yeah, I was thinking 55.
Yeah, I think Lloyd picked up his 1955 Watchtower and probably is reading a study article where the sentences are so long they are an article in themselves. So 1955.
Your eyes are very blue today, Lloyd.
Thank you. Is that your final answer, Team O'Donnell?
We reserve the right to change our answer if our answer is found to be incorrect.
Insubordination is noted. I will take as your final answer 1955. The quote that I read you was taken from this publication.
Ooh.
We've seen that before in some
Which
previous
I used at the
episode.
beginning of the quiz. It's 1955. You are correct. You have managed to scoop 20 points for this quiz and still lose. So congratulations on salvaging some
Thank you very much.
20 points to 32. We finish. Congratulations, Arthur's Knights. What is the penalty of choice? Presumably by now you know what the penalties are and have one in mind for the losing team.
Arthur?
As a penalty for the losing team, I will pick a very spiritual head covering.
Oh, he's going low. He's going low.
You don't want an emphatic reading? Like I thought last week's emphatic reading went over pretty well.
Oh, that's a very imaginative head covering from Kimmy.
I might get in trouble in Pioneer School.
I think that might actually
be the cover, the thumbnail for.
I'd love to see you conduct a Bible study with Charlie on your head for an hour or so. That would be fascinating.
He's purring too. He likes this, apparently.
Well, I'm going to accept that as the penalty. Thank you for being wonderful sports, Team O'Donnell. Better luck in the next quiz, whenever that is, and hopefully we will have Renato on hand to adjudicate and help me moderate the teams, keep them in.
Just
in
remember,
check.
we've won the last 20 points unanswered, and we've decimated Arthur's Knights in the last 20 points, the last two questions.
On the last round,
decimated them.
Like my head covering is pretty rowdy.
I would like to add one more point. I'd like to deduct some points from Lloyd Evans because Lloyd Evans incorrectly criticized Judge Rutherford for using the term "builded."
Yeah.
And according to yourdictionary.com, builded is a correct term. That means it's a verb. That means the definition of let me rephrase it. The definition of builded means constructed or built. When a structure is constructed or built, this is an example of when it is builded. It is, in fact, a correct use
It's just
of
archaic.
a term.
There are currently 219 watching across YouTube and Facebook, and my question for all of you is, was what Mark just said interesting? Let us know in the live chat.
It definitely was.
Is Mark O'Donnell, not just is Mark O'Donnell interesting, but was what he just said interesting? Let us know. And I'll read out the first comment. Your opinion doesn't count. I'm asking the viewers. Marianne Lockwood seems undecided as to whether Mark was interesting with what he just said. Debbie Yule, a decisive no. Oh, Elizabeth says yes. Leisha Fox says particularly what he just. Wow. You seem to have a fan there, Mark. Charlie is the cutest, says Leigh.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Susan says that it's fascinating.
Thank you, Susan.
Miranda says no. Ali says
nope.
Caden says kind of, I guess. Hardly convincing. J.E. says you're leading us into temptation. Do you want me to lie? Raven Tree Frog says, I was watching the cat. Susan Brewer says, oh, actually, no. Builder is as correct as aluminum.
They wanted you to say it in the British way. Say it in the British
Aluminium.
way. Aluminium, I couldn't even say
LG
it.
says, poor Judge Rutherford. Lloyd criticizes him for nothing.
Exactly. Thank you, LG.
I'll let the viewers decide what the consensus is there. But I'm determined in my mind.
Remember,
that
Lloyd,
the criticism was valid.
As a writer and a journalist, a man who's written, how thick was that book you showed us earlier? How thick was that book?
802
Do you want
pages.
inches?
You need. Yes. Well, the girth of your book does matter. I will say, if you're going to criticize Watchtower, Judge Rutherford, or any of the other dead presidents, you must be careful to make sure your criticism is founded on fact. And
on that bombshell, we bring the last day's live stream to a close. Viewers, I hope you have found this show interesting. Many thanks to the panel for being tremendous sports. Some were earlier than others. But what are you going to do? It's not like they're being paid. So, viewers, I hope you enjoyed the show. Please remember to tune in for our next show, which will not be on Wednesday. It will be on Saturday. Remember, stay safe, stay positive, and we will see you in the next show. Take care.
Bye.
See you guys.